From West Texas to the Ozark Mountains, we're here in Mountain View, Missouri to meet the folks at Cluck Ranch and learn why they diversified to include sheep and goats.
I'm Carl Cluck.
I'm R.H. Witten.
This is Cluck Ranch. We're a fifth generation ranch that we had in the Panhandle. My kids was getting to the age of showing interest in being part of the operation of the place, and we'd kind of overgrown our place. Looked like we was needing to probably expand. That wasn't really in the cards for us out there. So we started looking at lots of different properties around the United States, wound up looking at some ground, different places here in Missouri, and found this place.
Tell me about your first challenges when coming here to, southern Missouri.
Just getting settled in, incorporating the kids into the operation of it, everybody kind of finding their place and what their responsibilities were. The place didn't have much housing, so we had an enormous amount of housing to work on. There was some considerable infrastructure issues that we had to deal with to get, where it was a viable operation. We originally brought our cow herd out here from Texas. We brought about 400 Red Angus commercial cows.
Well, I think that some of the most misconceptions when it comes to livestock or cattle is that a cow can't just survive anywhere, and genetics play a part, breeds play a part in how an animal thrives. So kind of give some examples of why, maybe RH, pop in and talk about what's the difference in nutrition levels and that from bringing your Red Angus cattle from Texas to here.
Well, I'd probably say out there we had way more grass than, that's kind of a loaded question, or not necessarily a loaded question, but kind of weird to say we had more grass out there for cows than we do here. But there we grew a different type of grass, and here we grow more grass that's is more usable to a goat or sheep. And so the challenge was when we first got here was dealing with the grass that grew that was called Cerisa lespedeza, and it's very, very prolific, and so I think that's one reason why cattle didn't do as good. We tried doing some things by spraying, and it helped it that year, but then the following year it'd be back again, and we just didn't have a home that was suitable for a cow at the time. I think that's why we were trying to expand the herd, and we got to a point where we were like, we can't do it. The livestock was going backwards, wasn't giving us the production we needed, and so that's when we were kind of realizing that we got to change our thinking and
enter small ruminants, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you settled on Spanish goats and Dorper sheep. So let's hit on the goats. What led you to deciding that this type of goat would be what would thrive here?
My experience in Texas was with several different breeds of goats, and one of those particular breeds was Spanish goats. We wanted a range goat, a low maintenance, an animal that could support themselves. We wasn't going to have to babysit them, and my experience with the Spanish goats, I knew they'd do that. I knew I could put them on the type of forages that was here, and they'd go hustle. They'd utilize what this place had, and they've definitely proven to do that.
And when you get into small ruminants, you have to deal with parasites.
Yeah.
And I would say they're probably the most
Hardy?
hardy to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just survivability, parasite resistance is stronger,
Yeah.
I would say, than in their mothering instincts, way better than some of the other breeds.
So what about the sheep? Many may not understand the difference between a Dorper sheep and ones they would see, predominantly here in the Ozarks. So what led you to a haired sheep versus a wool?
Yeah, we knew we was getting into them commercially. Our sheep are a commercial Dorper. They're not a registered, we market them for meat. So anyway, that led us to running a commercial Dorper that give you good growth traits. They grow, in 5 months the kids are ready to, the lambs are ready to go.
So when it comes to the day-to-day, we both selected these small ruminants as, easy keepers.
Yep.
But when it comes to the daily care, supplements, predators out here, are you kidding and lambing out open? Are they coming into a barn, or how do they weather these winters?
Yeah, we time breed them, so they'll have kids in the spring. Basically, we kid in April, May, so when the kids hit the ground. The sheep are they're pretty well time bred. Also, they lamb at pretty much the same time, April, May.
So predators, I saw as I was pulling in, dogs are kept with them.
That's right. Yeah.
We got a lot of them.
Yep.
A lot. Different breeds. We've got a dog named or a breed called Serplanix, Anatolians, Pyrenees, a little mixture of all of them. They're a necessity. They really are. Like when we busted things up to kid out, we created lots of different groups, and so it was kind of hard then because didn't have enough dogs for every single little group that we made. And prior to that, we weren't really seeing any coyotes or anything. We hadn't seen coyotes and stuff like that in a couple of years, really.
Really?
And then when we busted them up, and like I had one group in front of my house actually, and I kept seeing a coyote go through there. Well, I didn't have a dog in that group, so they work.
They've done their job. They're an extension of you all. That's fascinating.
You don't want them to bond with you. You want them to bond with the livestock you're expecting them to guard.
Let's talk about the market. You're talked about raising commercial.
Yep.
What does that mean in this market? Once you've raised them here, what's the next stop along the supply chain?
We found there's a great demand. The United States has got more demand than they've got supply. In Texas, I think they average 10,000 a week that's shipped out of there, and most of those goats end up on the coast of the United States, East Coast or West Coast. Predominantly East Coast is the biggest demand, but we're kind of in the middle. We're a good source. We're kind of halfway to that market.
Yeah.
Pretty much any densely populated area has a market. Chicago, St. Louis, from Florida all the way up the coast there's a great demand for sheep and goats.
So you're kidding and lambing here in say spring, and how long, how many days, weeks, months until you've got a
viable
profit? When do you got that fat calf, so to speak,
right,
to be ready to sell? And then does that go to feedlot, or what's the supply chain look like?
It's been a little. The lambs will come straight off the mama.
Okay.
They'll 4 to 5 months they're ready to go.
Okay.
And they want them weighing that 60-pound range, and so they'll be ready to go at 4 to 5 months. The goat has been a little different. They take a little longer. This last year we actually took them and put them on feed, and they're wanting them in the same range. 55 to 65 pounds is kind of where they want them.
You talk about the land needing the goats. Explain the conservation aspect of that, because if land's not cared for, then it just grows up. But what do the goats provide the land?
Yeah, this is the third season that we've been grazing with the goats, and the ground that we've been focusing on for that 3 years was some of the worst ground we had. It was ground that it wouldn't support a cow to save its life. Any time of the growing season. It predominantly grew warm season plants that a cow wouldn't consume. And that ground is showing an enormous improvement.
You know, it's a win-win with a goat because they'll eat the stuff in our growing season that usually chokes everything else out to where you didn't have any grass to winter on. Well, now the goat is grazing that stuff through the growing season, and then you have grass growing underneath that to winter them on.
What does the future look like for you?
I would say to expand.
Hopefully extend this as many generations as possible is our ultimate goal, to keep this a viable operation for as many generations as we possibly can.